speaking of the Odyssey, of course, it is nigh. I mean, the Odyssey is nigh. I'm going to go see it on Thursday. I'm sure a whole ass ton of you guys are going to go see it on Thursday. But the question has been, how big will it be? I mean, you look at something like Oppenheimer, and it nearly joined the $1 billion club. A little period piece biopic almost made $1 billion. So how big can Odyssey be? Now, I've always said I acknowledge that the Odyssey has a shot at $1 billion, but I've also, if you guys watch the show, know I've had some skepticism about that because, in the last 30 years, an estimated 10,000 R-rated films have come out. You know how many of those joined the $1 billion club? Folie à deux. Only 2.
But if you multiply that too by the amount that
but
didn't,
if you multiply
actually
by
have
the number of likes,
way more.
And of course, those two movies that have joined the $1 billion club that are R-rated films are, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine and the first, not Folie à deux, but the first Joker movie. Only 2 ever in history. So, I mean, that's a tall order for it to be. But how big can Oppenheimer be? Well, the final round of tracking for the movie is now out. And every one of the metrics is saying it's going to open now bigger than Oppenheimer did. How much bigger? That depends on who you're looking at. That's part of the question. But if you go ahead and take a look at right now what they're estimating on this at the moment, we see this. We've got Oppenheimer open to 82.4 million. Now, opening to 82.4 million, it went on to make $975.8 million. Like, again, nearly $1 billion film for a period piece biopic, which is crazy. The Odyssey right now is projected to open. Again, all the places are saying over Oppenheimer, but by how much there is some difference of opinion. Some are saying 90 million, some are saying up to 110 million of an opening weekend, which would be one of the biggest openings for R-rated film ever. It would be on the list at any rate. So I guess the question kind of becomes, when we look at Oppenheimer having an 80-something million dollar opening, it's not necessarily going to have the exact same ratio, right? We can't just take a mathematical formula and say, well, if Oppenheimer opened 82 and it ended with 975, that means if the Odyssey opens to 110, it'll make 1.7 billion. No, it's not going to be like that. Like, there's going to be a lot of different variables that go into it. But it does raise an interesting question. If it does open bigger than Oppenheimer, which they're saying it will now, what's the ceiling? If Oppenheimer opened to 80 and nearly got to $1 billion, can the Odyssey do it? I'm still skeptical. Like, I know it can. It's possible it gets to $1 billion. But I'm still skeptical of it, again, because it's only ever been done twice in history. So it's got that working against it. Anyway, Rob, you see these numbers here. How big do you think the opening is going to be? And then do you think it can end up with Oppenheimer-like worldwide numbers, exceed it, fall a little bit short of it? How are you seeing this right now?
Well, having not seen the movie, but listening to people's responses and judging by the fact that you cannot get a 70 millimeter IMAX ticket for this movie for weeks, it's sold out in most of the big venues if they're showing true 70 millimeter IMAX. I would say the interest level for this movie is high, John. And added to the fact that it is a fantasy film. It's got gods and cyclopses and men being turned into pigs and battles and, love and romance. I would say that I would call this movie a zeitgeist film. And if it is truly delivering what you always like to say, experiential events, I can't imagine a movie that is going to be more experiential than this, with the possible exception of Dune 3. But they're kind of in the same milieu in terms of providing that experience. So I think, and again, every time I say something like this, people are like, well, you said this movie is going to make $1 billion. Well, I haven't seen it. Okay. But from what early indicators, I would say this probably could make $1 billion. And I wouldn't be surprised if it totally exceeds $1 billion. But again, that's only by early word of mouth. The fact that there's obviously an extraordinary amount of interest in this film from the general public based on early IMAX sales tickets. It all comes down to whether the movie is good. Does it deliver the goods? Does it provide an experiential event? I mean, I would say the fact that it's the first movie shot in IMAX alone, total IMAX. It's a
Never
total
been done
IMAX
before.
experience. Never been done before. It
Mhm.
really depends on how good the movie is, but I do think it has a leg up because it's providing an experiential event cinematically that has never been seen before.
Well, you
And
add on top of that, Jonathan, you were saying before we started rolling the cameras today, something about like the IMAXs near you and the tickets. What were you saying about that?
So that's actually what I was just going to say is that I think this thing's going to have sustained. By the way, apropos shirt today, Rob, with Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
Barbenheimer going on. But I think this thing's going to have sustained box office legs because for weeks, if you look, like I thought, oh, well, midweek, the 70 millimeters are there's going to be openings for
The
sure.
IMAX you're talking about.
Yeah, the IMAX. Yeah, yeah. And 7 a.m. on a Wednesday? Nope, sold out. And it goes on for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So I understand it's just the IMAX, the 70 millimeter, whatever, but I still think that's an indicator that we're not going to see like a 70%, 65% drop off on weekend two. I think it's going to have sustainability. So it
Well,
could do
like
very
Rob
well.
said, it will come down to, is the movie good or not? Now,
Yes,
all the
right.
real film critics who went to go see the film already, they're saying it's going to be a best picture of the year contender. A lot of the awards sites are now already listing Oppenheimer as the #1 lead horse, no pun intended, to get that. Then again, I thought Supergirl was going to be good. And
Yeah.
look how that turned out. Then
Yeah,
again,
but
I thought Craven was going to be good, but then
But
I
to
was
be-
alone in that.
But to be fair on that, though, the reviews kind of led into Supergirl being just okay. I mean, the
That's
initial
true.
reactions were positive, as they typically are, but as the full reviews were coming out, it started to get panned. Whereas this has just been getting like, this is the greatest thing ever, you know?
Well,
So,
and it'll be interesting to see if it can actually live up to that. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, all the projections are saying the Odyssey is going to make even more in its opening weekend than Oppenheimer did, and Oppenheimer went on to make almost $1 billion. Again, I think that's a tall order because only 2 R-rated films have ever done it in history. I don't know. Whatever you guys think about that, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.